The next item of business is the election of directors. The Board of Directors appointed a committee on nominations for each district from which a director is to be elected. Those committees met on March the 27th, 2012, and nominated at least one, but not more than 2 members from each director post to be filled. In accordance with the bylaws of the corporation, a statement of the number of directors to be elected and the names and addresses of the candidates were mailed to each member along with the notice of the annual membership meeting. Ballots have been prepared and were presented to the members when they registered. Would the nominees please stand as their names are read? For director from district number 3, Bruce Pilchick. For director from district number 5, Sammy Kandra. For director from district number 7, Charles Matula. I'd like to remind you that all registered members can vote for each of the 3 board districts. Please mark your ballots as the nominations are now closed. These ballots will be collected shortly. Thank you. Sammy?
As provided in the bylaws, the Board of Directors appointed a Credentials and Election Committee to count the ballots and to rule upon any questions that may arise relating to member voting in the election of directors. Will the committee members please stand as their names are called? Joe Pickle, Tammy Dietze, Janelle Cherney, Steve Lackey, Mary Ruth Schindler, Pat Miller, Eugene Yannick, and Jaron Barnett. Alternate Credentials and Election Committee members are Gerald Sheffield, Virginia Lyerly, Kathy Mavis, Melvin Hensel, James Grawunder, Vernon Went, Margie Sodalock, Beatrice Hill, Delrose Hotterman, Johnny Steffick, Bill Appelt, and Richard Hayes. If you would at this time, please pass your ballots to the inside aisle where they will be collected. The committee has asked for the assistance of several co-op in collecting these ballots. Will the employees designated to collect ballots please come and stand in front of each aisle? The committee will now retire to count the ballots. We will now proceed with the rest of the program and hear their report at the conclusion of the meeting.
In 2011, San Bernardino Electric Co-op made a monumental decision it felt would benefit its membership. Beginning in 2016, we will no longer be buying wholesale power from the Lower Colorado River Authority, called LCRA. By contract language, we had to give notice 5 years prior to the end of the contract. The decision to terminate did not come easy due to our long-term relationship with them, but the contract proposed to us by LCRA locked us up for 25 years. That's 25 years from 2016. That would put it to 2041. I don't know about the rest of you, but 25 years is a long time to be committed for wholesale power, especially when we see the advancement made in technology these days. We instead opted for contracts with shorter-term frames. This will give San Bernard management and your board of directors the ability to monitor the wholesale power markets and have the flexibility to adjust accordingly. We have always treasured our relationship with LCRA and the Wholesale Power Group, and will continue to do so until 2016. This doesn't mean that we will no longer have a partnership with LCRA, as we will continue to work with them on areas of transmission lines and communications needs. To facilitate the signing of new wholesale power contracts, it was necessary for San Bernard to make changes to our articles of incorporation. To make these changes, we held a special meeting at our Belleville office headquarters in this past November. We also utilized mail-in balloting for the first time in our history to ensure we had enough votes to make these changes. With the input from you, our members, we successfully had the amount of votes needed to make these changes. More significantly, we utilized a new system to get more of the membership to participate in the co-op. I'm not saying we will use mail-in balloting every time, but it's nice to know that if we have to do it, it really works. Major disasters are common in the cooperative world, and we have learned to handle them when they arise. The most common disasters usually come in the form of hurricanes, tornadoes, or ice storms. Rarely have we ever had to contend with a wildfire situation. This last Labor Day was a bit unusual. Our crews were put in the perilous position of trying to maintain electricity to homes that were under the siege of fires that broke out in our northern Waller, Grimes, and Colorado counties. It took several days before these fires were brought under control, and I admire the dedication that our employees displayed during this time. They were always ready to go into these areas once they were given permission to do so by the appropriate authorities. Once more, the cooperative's financial position was such that the board of directors voted to pay back our members in the form of capital credits. In 2011, we were able to return over $3 million to our membership. We simply had more kilowatt hours sales than we had budgeted for. Can you remember how hot it was last year? It was pretty hot. The excessive temperatures caused a historic amount of electricity to be used by the members. In turn, our margins were greater than anticipated. Following the cooperative model, these margins were returned to you as a bill credit in December. Do you think an investor-owned utility would have given the excessive margins back? I don't think so. I'm glad to see so many friendly faces at this year's meeting, and we look forward to seeing you again next year. We will continue to work diligently to provide our membership with dependable service at the lowest rates possible. Thank you.